We always wonder if we're truly alone in this universe, right? This has been a million-dollar question we've been trying to understand. Well, get ready to have your mind blown because turns out the answer might be closer than we ever imagined. Discoveries suggest that our alien neighbors might be right in our backyard. From Venus to Saturn's moons, we're about to explore the possibility of alien life being our next-door neighbors. First up, our good old neighbor Venus. This fiery planet is hotter than your grandma's oven, but guess what? Scientists think tiny alien life forms might be chilling out in its crazy hot clouds. Can you believe it? It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Now you're probably thinking, Venus? That's the planet where you'd melt like a popsicle. And you're right, the surface is a scorching hot mess, with temperatures reaching a toasty 450 degrees Celsius. That's 842 degrees Fahrenheit for all you imperial folks. But here's the thing. New research suggests that if life exists on Venus, it might actually be hanging out in the clouds, not on the ground. It's about 50 kilometers or about 31 miles above the surface, where it's comfy. At those altitudes, the temperature and pressure are much more Earth-like, and the clouds even provide some protection from the sun's harmful UV rays. Now, speaking of Venus, did you know that one day on Venus is longer than its year? That's one trippy planet, don't you think? Researchers found a particular gas called phosphine in those clouds. On Earth, this gas is made by tiny anaerobic bacteria, and they think these organisms use UV sunlight as their energy source. Could it be the same on Venus? And that's not all. They also found ammonia there. On Earth, ammonia is primarily produced by biological activity and industrial processes, which is another sign that there could be tiny alien microorganisms in our own solar system. Now, I know what you're thinking, but isn't Venus a total hellscape? Well, you're not wrong. However, researchers believe that if Venus went through a warm, wet phase in the past, life could have evolved to survive in its only environment, the clouds. But before we get ahead of ourselves and start planning your Venus vacation, it's important to remember that this is still just a hypothesis. The phosphine and ammonia detections need to be confirmed, and even then, it doesn't necessarily mean there's life on Venus. As one scientist said, it may be chemistry that we don't understand, or possibly life. One thing's for sure, Venus is about to become the hottest planet in space exploration. If you're interested in following this story, we'll be sure to cover any new developments here on our channel, so stay tuned for more mind-blowing space news by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. Okay, let's cool things down. We're heading to Jupiter's moon, Europa, and Saturn's moon, Enceladus, because these icy worlds might hide ocean worlds beneath their frozen crusts. Europa, Jupiter's moon, and Enceladus, Saturn's moon, are believed to have vast oceans beneath their thick ice crusts. Recent NASA experiments suggest that if life exists in these oceans, we might find clues about it beneath the surface ice. Tiny alien life forms could be living in those underwater worlds. And the best news? We might not have to dig super deep to find them. Like subaquatic superheroes, these little space creatures might hang out just beneath the ice. Alexander Pavlov from NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center explains that on Europa, the safe sampling depth for these amino acids is about 8 inches, or roughly 20 centimeters, in areas that haven't been disturbed much by meteorite impacts. On Enceladus, you wouldn't need to dig that deep. These molecules could be found less than 1/10 of an inch from the surface. Scientists have also discovered that amino acids, the building blocks of life, can survive in these icy environments despite the harsh radiation these moons experience from their parent planets. Speaking of icy depths, why did the ice cube break up with the water? Because it found someone cooler. Get it? Yeah, that was cold, so I'm moving on. See what I did there? Yeah, never mind. Researchers also found that amino acids degrade slower when they come from dead bacteria than when they are mixed with dust. This means that the cellular material in these microorganisms could protect the amino acids from radiation damage. So what does this all mean for the search for life on these icy moons? Future robotic landers may be able to find potential signs of life without digging too deep. However, they must be careful where they sample because amino acids degrade faster in silica-rich regions on these moon surfaces. The most exciting thing is that we could be on the brink of answering one of humanity's biggest questions. Are we alone in the universe? With super cool missions like Europa Clipper and Dragonfly already in the works, we could be on the verge of a breakthrough in discovering if there's alien life out there. Let's keep the icy theme going and dive into another frozen world, Saturn's Titan. This place is wild. It has rivers, lakes, and even oceans. But don't get your swim trunks ready yet. These aren't water, they're made of liquid methane. Can you imagine surfing on a methane wave? As we already know, Saturn's biggest moon, Titan, is no ordinary place. It has all these lakes and rivers made of methane and ethane instead of water. However, recent radar data from NASA's Cassini spacecraft, which crashed on Saturn in September 2017, has revealed that these liquid bodies are moving and changing like our oceans. It's like Titan has its version of tides and currents. The more we learn, the clearer it becomes that Titan has a diverse seascape similar to Earth's, with some areas resembling freshwater rivers and others salty oceans. How wild is that? Speaking of which, did you hear about the ocean that went to school? It wanted to improve its current situation. Why do we care about tiny waves on a moon so far away? These waves could be a game changer for future missions exploring Titan's environment. And imagine a Titan submarine navigating through those methane seas. And that's not all. Titan has a super thick atmosphere, mainly nitrogen with some methane, way different from ours. You could almost walk around without a bulky spacesuit, just a comfy jacket. It's like a real-life sci-fi adventure. We've only just scratched the surface of Titan's mysteries. This incredible moon is brimming with secrets waiting to be uncovered. And that's just the beginning. Whoa, talk about a cosmic roller coaster. From the sizzling clouds of Venus to the icy depths of Europa and Titan's methane lakes, we've covered some mind-blowing possibilities about alien life. But don't hit that pause button just yet. If you're buzzing with curiosity about what's happening on Titan, Saturn's biggest moon, you're in for a treat. We've got some epic deep dive that'll take you straight into the mysteries of Titan's strange liquid landscapes. You won't believe what Cassini found on Saturn's largest moon. And we've just covered the tip of the iceberg, or should I say, the tip of the methane lake. Watching our next video will fill in the gaps and give you the full picture of what's really going on in these alien worlds.